Hello everyone, Michael here, part-time gamer, full-time dad with another World of Warcraft Too Long Didn't Read guide. If you like these guides, get subscribed and turn on notifications as to not miss any in the future. Quick aside, this is my personal recommendations and a basic starting point if you're new to the class or need a refresher. As well, this guide will assume no legendaries and an artifact weapon up to Concordance level 1. With that being said, let's jump into the Brewmaster Monk. Brewmaster Monks are very unique in that they don't take direct damage at face value. They shrug some of it off and it becomes staggered damage that is dealt over time through a dot that they can reduce by taking a big old swig. So first up with the Brewmaster Monk, your secondary stat priorities are really simple. One of the simplest I've ever seen, I think. As it stands now, eye level is king. All stats are pretty much equal aside from haste. You don't want to go above 14.5%-ish, as that's when the diminishing return is just too heavy and you're wasting points. Following the above priority, your gems will be the 200 Saber's Eye of Agility for your first gem, and then the cheapest plus 200 gems you can find since all stats are pretty equal. I would suggest you don't try to stat stack though, try to keep it relatively even. Your enchants will be Mark of the Heavy Hide on your neck for the armor proc, Binding of Agility on your cloak, and Binding of whichever again stat is the cheapest on your rings. Your consumables should be the Flask of the 10,000 Scars for survivability, or 7th Demon for DPS. Your potions will be the Prolonged Power for a mix of defense and offense, or if you need a mini cooldown, an Unbending Potion can provide that extra armor. Your food should always be the Lavish Suramar Feast, which will provide you stamina. If you feel you don't need the stamina, switch to Windwalker spec and you will gain agility. For Brewmasters, relics are also pretty straightforward. Regardless of the eye level, you want to aim for these three traits: Facepalm, Hot-Blooded, and Potent Kick. The utility these provide far outweighs the small damage gain from the increased eye level of higher eye level relics. So now on to the meat of it all, the talents. Starting at level 15, your default will be Eye of the Tiger, as it adds a heal over time to you and a damage over time to your target. You'd only swap to Chi Burst in really big AoE fights, or maybe if you needed that little extra burst heal. For level 30, this is a mobility rope, so it's up to you. Celerity if you have lots of movement required, Torpedo if it's long distance movement required, or Tiger's Lust if you need a root cleanse. I personally roll with Celerity, just because I like that extra roll. The level 45 best choice is Black Ox Brew. However, this can be a challenge to properly utilize, so with that said, I would actually suggest you go with Gift of the Mists to get used to it because it's passive and will help with your survivability through your self-heal. For level 60, Summon Black Ox Statue is good if you need to mass taunt a lot of mobs, but Leg Sweep can be useful if you need to mass stun mobs. I usually roll with Leg Sweep. In the level 90 row, Dampen Harm can act as another good cooldown. With that said though, a good standard is Mystic Vitality, as it's more useful in all scenarios as it helps you stagger more magic damage. Your level 90 choice most likely will be Rushing Jade Wind in almost all scenarios. It's a nice reliable bit of damage, especially in AoE. Special Delivery really only has its place if you have too much haste and can't squeeze in Rushing Jade Wind into your rotation. And finally level 100. High Tolerance for more survivability, but Blackout Combo for more DPS. Simple as that. I default to High Tolerance because I'm focusing more on survivability. So boom, that's the talents. Now you're asking, how do I tank with all these brews making me cross-eyed? Well, let's go down the basics. The basic rotation for a Brewmaster is pretty simple. Only when you need to venture out of the ordinary does it start to, well, stack up. You want to use Keg Smash, Blackout Strike, Breath of Fire, and Rushing Jade Wind on cooldown, provided you pick that talent. Tiger Palm as filler, but make sure to leave enough energy for your Keg Smashes. If you're doing a single target fight, Explosive Keg on cooldown, but if there's AoE in the fight, save it for that as it also does provide some defensive utility. Within that, you want to watch your stagger and use your brews accordingly. Iron Skin Brew should be looked at like a temporary damage reduction as it allows you to stagger more, while Purifying Brew acts as an snap stagger reduction. For your cooldowns, monks have two major ones worth mentioning. First is Zen Meditation, which is a 60% reduction for essentially your next hit. Fortifying Brew increases your health, has a damage reduction, and increases the stagger amount, making it extremely potent. You want to use this preemptively and make sure you have one charge of Purifying Brew in reserve when it ends, because it's going to stack up your stagger quite high. As for other abilities that are worth having on your bar, obviously, Provoke, which is your taunt, Roll, which is your mobility ability, which is also just fun. This will, however, change to Chi Torpedo if you picked that talent. Detox, which is a cleanse, Transcendence, and Transcendence Transfer, which can be helpful if you need to fly across the room really fast. This can also be used to cheese wipes on some bosses. Expel Harm being a very potent and often used self-heal. Spear Hand Strike being your interrupt. And lastly, a special mention to Black Ox Statue. This can be so helpful if you struggle to maintain AoE threat. You plunk down the statue, which generates aggro on mobs in the area around it, then you taunt the statue, in turn taunting all these mobs. I would suggest you look into a macro to accomplish this, as it will save you a giant headache. Anyways, with that, we've essentially covered the basics, so we're done. If you want to help out, hit that like button if you liked the video, and leave a comment down below to letting me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.